the Kashmir or the Northwestern Himalayas from chapter number 2, structure and physiography. Okay, this Kashmir or the Northwestern Himalaya is a part of the Himalayan region actually. Okay, on the basis of the relief, alignment of ranges and other geomorphological features, the Himalayas can be divided into following subdivisions. So the Himalayan part, okay, the Himalayas of our country can be divided into 5 subdivisions actually. Okay, depending upon the height, depending upon the relief, and depending upon the other geomorphological characteristics, or actually, it is mainly divided into 5 major divisions. That is number 1, the Kashmir or the Northwestern Himalayas, the Himachal and the Uttarakhand Himalaya, the Darjeeling and the Sikkim Himalayas, the Arunachal Himalayas, and the Eastern Hills and Mountains. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the Kashmir or the Northwestern Himalayas, and then we will be discussing about the Himachal and the Uttarakhand Himalayas as well. Okay, so let us start with the Kashmir of the Northwestern Himalayas. So first, listen carefully. The Himalayas is an entire total very big geographical area actually. Okay, it's a major land form of our country actually. It's a major physiographic division of our country. But this Himalayas is divided into small divisions actually, depending upon the location, depending upon the characteristics. Okay, and these 5 are this subdivision actually. Okay, so first I am starting with the Kashmir of the Northwestern Himalaya. The Kashmir of the Northwestern Himalaya, it basically comprises a series of ranges such as the Karakoram range, the Ladakh range, the Jaskar, and the Pir Panjal range. That means the state of Jammu and Kashmir, the Union Territory of Ladakh, okay, they basically come under this part actually. Okay, they basically come under this part of the Himalayas, that is the Kashmir or the Northwestern Himalayas. And here, some of the important mountain ranges which exist are the Karakoram range, okay, the Ladakh range, the Jaskar range, and the Pir Panjal range. The northeastern part of the Kashmir Himalaya is a cold desert which lies between the Greater Himalayas and the Karakoram range. So basically the northeastern part of this Himalaya actually. Okay, it's a cold desert region. It is an extension of the Tibetan plateau actually. Okay, the Tibet is a cold desert region, and extension of this cold desert region can be found in the northwestern part of this Kashmir Himalaya. And basically the Ladakh region actually. Okay, the Ladakh region is a cold desert region, which is an extension of the Tibetan plateau actually. So in Ladakh, okay, though it is a mountainous area, but it is considered as a cold desert region. Why? Because the entire area is like it remains covered with snow throughout the year, and we does not find any kind of water here in this region. Actually. So the northeastern part of the Kashmir Himalayas is a cold desert which lies between the Greater Himalayas and the Karakoram ranges. Between the Greater Himalayas and the Pir Panjal range lies the famous Valley of Kashmir and the famous Dal Lake. Okay, and in this part of the Kashmir of the Northwestern Himalayas also we can find some of the famous places. Okay, some of the famous tourist destinations actually, such as the Dal Lake. Okay, the Dal Lake, it lies between the Greater Himalayas and the Pir Panjal range actually, and we all know that the Dal Lake is one of the famous tourist destination in the world. Okay, not only this, but this part of the Kashmir of the Northwestern Himalaya, it mainly the height of this Kashmir of the Northwestern Himalaya is like average height is more than 6,000 meter actually. So in this part of the Himalayas, okay, it remains covered with snow throughout the year, and there are formation of glaciers. Okay, here we can find some of the glaciers actually. Okay, some of the important glaciers of South Asia, such as the Boltoro and the Siachen, are found in this glacier actually. Okay, the Boltoro and the Siachen glacier are the two most important glaciers of South Asia actually, which can be found in this part of the Himalayan region. Okay, the Siachen glacier, I think you all have heard about this Siachen glacier actually, where every year many of the soldiers of Indian Army they die because of this avalanches and all. Okay, even few days ago also like news came that in the Siachen glacier some of the army persons they died. Okay, so like this part of the northern this part of the Himalayas actually, that is the Kashmir of the Northwestern Himalayas, is a very difficult terrain. Okay, where the climate is very harsh, very cold, the altitude is very high, and it is quite difficult for the people to live in this region actually. Okay, the Kashmir or the Northwestern Himalaya is also famous for the Karewa formation. Okay, this part of the Himalayas, that is the Kashmir Himalayas, are also famous for the Karewa formations, which are useful for the cultivation of Jaffran, a local variety of saffron. Okay, so in this Kashmir Himalaya, basically saffron cultivation is done. Okay, in saffron cultivation is done and which is locally known as Jafran actually. Okay, and what is this Kareva actually? The main question is, what is Kareva? Kareva is actually the thick deposit of glacial clay and the other materials embedded, okay, embedded with the moraines. So basically the glaciers are there in this upper part of the Himalayas, this Kashmir of the northwestern Himalaya. So the glaciers, when the glaciers melt actually, so beneath the glaciers, some soils can be found actually, okay, some alluvial deposits are found. Okay, clay-like structures are found. So when the glaciers they deposit actually, so these clay-like substances, okay, or the glacial clay, they get deposited along the side of the glaciers. Okay, and in this clay, okay, in this clay actually, okay, what happened? The saffron cultivation is mainly done. So this clay deposits, because of the you can say melting of the glaciers, are known as the karevas. Actually. Okay, so karevas are actually the thick deposit of the glacial clay. Glacial clay means the clay which is deposited because of the melting of the glaciers. Okay. Some of the important passes of the region are the Jojila on the Great Himalayas, Banihal on the Pir Panjal, Fotula on the Jaskar, and Khardungla on the Ladakh. And even in this Kashmir of the northwestern Himalayas, we can find some of the important passes. Okay, some of the important mountain passes are there, such as the Jojila Pass can be found here, the Banihal Pass can be found here in the Pir Panjal range, the Fotula Pass can be found in the Jaskar range, and the Khardungla Pass can be found in the Ladakh range. Okay. So this passes are very much important actually. Why? Because this passes, it helps. Okay, it helps in the passage of the people from one part of the Himalayan region to the another part actually. Okay, so in the ancient days also, like when the oceanic routes were not discovered at that time, people used to visit our country through this passage. Okay, and I think you all have heard about this terms like a Silk Route actually. So this Silk Route like it connected, okay, India with the other countries of the world, okay, through these different passes actually. So the Kashmir or the northwestern Himalayas is also the land of different passes actually. Okay, different passes can be found in this Kashmir or the northwestern Himalayas. Some of the important freshwater lake, such as the Dal Lake and the Uller Lake, and saltwater lake, such as Pangong So and So Moriri, are also found in this region actually. Okay, so in this part of the Kashmir of the northwestern Himalaya, even the lakes are formed actually. Okay, in the higher altitudinal areas, such as the Dal Lake, which is very famous, the Uller Lake. Okay, these are the famous saltwater lake actually. Okay, and the Uller Lake is the largest the Uller Lake is the largest freshwater lake in our country. Even some of the saltwater lakes has been formed in this region. That is the Pangong So and the So Moriri. Okay, the Pangong So, it is the largest saltwater lake actually. Okay, and now recently there was a conflict between India and China. Okay, regarding the territory, and this dispute was along this Pangong So actually. Okay, and along this Pangong So, the dispute was between India and China. Actually. Okay, this Pangong So is actually the boundary. Okay, between China and India. This region is drained by the Indus River and its tributaries, such as the Jhelum and the Chenab. So basically, the Kashmir of the northwestern Himalayas, it is mainly drained by two rivers, that is the Jhelum River and the Chenab River. The Kashmir and the northwestern Himalayas are well known for their scenic beauty and the picturesque landscape. Okay, so basically, the Kashmir and the northwestern Himalayas, okay, it is very much famous. Okay, it is very much famous and well known for its natural beauty and the very beautiful landscape and all. And this is why that the Kashmir or the northwestern Himalayas is a center of tourist attraction actually. Every year we can see many domestic and the foreign tourists, they come to visit the state of Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh and all. Okay, so this is the most important part of our country, Himalayan part actually, which is famous for tourist destination. Not only this, okay, it is not only famous for the tourist destination, but also famous for the various religious places actually. Okay, the landscape of the Himalayas is a major source of attraction from adventure tourists, and some famous places of pilgrimage such as the Vaishno Devi, the Amarnath cave, the Charari Sarif, etc., are also located here actually. So every year, many of the people, okay, they go for pilgrimage. Okay, they go to visit the Vaishno Devi temple, the Amarnath cave, the Charari Sarif and all. Okay, so all these places, pilgrimage places, can be found in the Kashmir or the northwestern Himalayas. Okay, and even the Dal Lake, which is present in Srinagar, it presents an interesting physical feature actually. Okay, the Dal Lake is a very large lake actually, where Okay, like many of the tourists, okay, they visit every year and all. Okay, and it is the famous place of this part of the Himalayas, actually, the Kashmir or the northwestern Himalayas. Okay, so the Kashmir of the northwestern Himalaya is actually the part of the Himalaya, okay, which actually the northwestern part of the Himalaya, actually. Okay, and after that, the Himalayas can again be further subdivided into the Himachal Himalaya, the Darjeeling and Sikkim Himalayas and all that we are going to discuss. Okay. The next which we are going to discuss is about the Himachal and the Uttarakhand Himalaya. Okay, the Himachal and the Uttarakhand Himalaya, it lies just next to the Kashmir and northwestern Himalaya. This Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya, it basically includes the state of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Okay, the state of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, it comes under this Himachal Himalaya. This part of the Himalayas, which is known as the Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya, it lies between the river Ravi in the west and the Kali, which is a tributary of river Ghagra in the east. So you can say that the extension of Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya is between Ravi River and the Kali River. Okay, and this Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya is confined in the state of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. It is drained by the two major river systems of India. The Himachal and the Uttarakhand Himalayas is mainly drained by two rivers, actually. That means two important rivers, it flows through this part, actually. Okay, means provides water to this part. The Indus River and the Ganga River. Okay, the Indus River not directly, but the tributaries of the Indus River, they supply water to this part of the Himalayas, as well as the Ganga River, it has its origin in this Himachal and the Uttarakhand Himalayas. The tributaries of the Indus include the river Ravi, the Byas, and the Satluj, and the tributaries of Ganga flowing through this region include the Yamuna and the Ghagra. Okay, so basically the rivers which flows through this Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya basically include the Ravi River, the Byas River, the Satluj River. Okay, and the Yamuna and the Ghagra, which are the tributaries of river Ganga, they flow through this Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya. The northernmost part of the Himachal Himalaya is the extension of the Ladakh cold desert, which lies in the Spiti subdivision of district Lahul and Spiti. Okay, and even in my when I was explaining about the Kashmir and the northwestern Himalaya, at that time I said that the Ladakh region is an extension of the cold desert region of the Tibetan plateau, actually. So even in this Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya, we can find a part of this Himachal Himalaya, okay, is extension of this Ladakh region, actually. That is the Lahul and the Spiti region. Okay, the Spiti region of this Lahul and the Spiti subdivision is a part of this Ladakh region, actually. Okay, it's a part of this Ladakh cold desert, actually. All the three ranges of Himalayas are prominent in this section. Okay, all the three important Himalayan ranges are prominent in this range. That is the Greater Himalaya, the Lesser Himalaya, that is the Himachal Himalaya, and the Sivaliks. Okay, these all three ranges of the Himalayas can be found in this Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya. Okay, these are the Great Himalayan ranges, the Lesser Himalayas, which is also locally known as the Dhauladhar in Himachal and Nag Tibai in Uttarakhand, and the Sivalik range. They form the north to the southern part. Okay. In this section of the Lesser Himalayas, the altitude ranges between 1000 to 2000 meters. That means the height of this Himachal and the Uttarakhand Himalaya, it ranges between 1000 meter to 2000 meter, actually. And this part of Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya were mainly attracted by the Britishers. Okay, the Britishers they like this place, the Himachal and the Uttarakhand Himalaya, and they have set up their places. Okay, they have set up their administrative units and the leisure homes and all in this Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya. And because of which many of the towns were developed, okay, during the colonial period, actually. Okay. The Britishers were especially attracted, okay, by the beauty of this Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya, and some of the hill stations were developed by them. Okay, so some of the hill stations such as Dharamsala, Mussoorie, Simla, Kasoni, and cantonment towns, and hill resorts such as Simla, Mussoorie, okay, Kasoli, Almora, Lansdowne, and Ranikhet were developed. Ranikhet were developed in this region, actually. So some of the important tourist places, some of the important tourist cities, actually, okay, towns and the cities can be found in this Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya, like Simla, which is a famous tourist destination, Mussoorie, Dharamsala, okay, Almora, Lansdowne, Ranikhet, and all. These are all the famous tourist places of this region, actually, and they have been developed during the colonial period in this region. Okay. The most important feature, okay, the two most important feature of this Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya is that the Shivaliks can be found here, as well as the dunes can be found here. Okay, dunes are actually the valleys which lie between the Shivaliks and the lesser Himalaya, that is Himachal Himalaya. Okay, in between lesser Himalaya and the Shivaliks, the valleys actually which lie, they are known as the dunes actually. Okay, for example, Dehradun. Dehradun is the city, okay, which has been formed in this in between the lesser Himalaya and the Shivalik range actually. Okay, so some of the famous important dunes of this region are the Chandigarh Kalka Dun, the Nalagarh Dun, the Dehradun, the Harike Dun, and the Kota Dun. So Dehradun has developed into a town actually. It has developed into a city. Okay, and it is the capital of Uttarakhand as well. Dehradun is the largest of all the dunes with an approximate length of 35 to 45 kilometers and the width of 22 to 25 kilometers. So of all the dunes which has been formed in this part of Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya, the Dehradun is the largest dune actually, and its width, okay, the length is 35 to 45 kilometers and the width is 22 to 25 kilometers actually. Okay, and in this Dehradun, only in this dune actually, the city of Dehradun has been formed. See, dunes are actually, you may be confused actually, what are dunes actually? So okay, so dunes are actually the flat valleys, okay, the flat valleys which has been formed by the deposition of the sediment in between the lesser Himalaya and the Shivaliks. Okay. In the Great Himalayan range, the valleys are mostly inhabited by the Bhotias. So basically in this Himachal and the Uttarakhand Himalaya, the Bhotias people, okay, they are the mainly the people who are residing actually. Okay, so basically this region is mainly dominated by the Bhotias. Okay, by the Bhotias tribe. These are the nomadic groups who migrate to the Bugyals. Okay, so basically these Bhotias are the nomadic groups. Okay, they go on traveling from one place to another. Like during the winter season, they come to the low-lying hills, and during the summer season, they go to the higher altitudinal areas along with the animals. Okay, so Bugyals, they migrate to the Bugyals. Bugyals are actually the grassland. Okay, where like they go during the summer season and all. Okay, along with the animals. Okay, so they migrate to the Bugyals, that is the summer grassland in the higher reaches, and during summer months, and return to the valleys during the winters actually. So the pastoral land, okay, where they migrate to the summer during the summer season and all are known as the Bugyals, okay, in the Bhutia language. The famous valleys of Kashmir is also situated in this region. The places of pilgrimage such as the Gangotri, Yamunotri, Kedarnath, Badrinath, and Hemkund Sahib are also located in this part. Okay, so not only the Kashmir and the northwestern Himalaya is famous for the tourist like pilgrimage, but also in Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya, some of the famous pilgrimage centers are located actually, like Kedarnath, okay, Badrinath, the Hemkund Sahib and all. Okay, these are all found here. Even the Gangotri and Yamunotri, Gangotri Glacier, okay, means from where the river Ganga originates. Yamunotri Glacier, from where the river Yamuna originates actually. Okay, and this region, the Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya, is also famous for the 5 Prayags actually. Okay, Prayags means the confluence of rivers. So there are 5 Prayags actually, means many rivers. Okay, 2 or 3 rivers actually they join together and they become a single river actually, and that particular place are known as the Prayags. Okay, so here we can see that the river Ganga has been formed. Okay, like like where the river Ganga actually meets actually. Okay, yeah, there actually we have find the Prayag actually. Okay, basically the river Ganga is mainly formed, okay, by like 2 rivers actually. Okay, the 2 rivers they join together and they led to the formation of the Ganga rivers actually. Okay, so this is what about the Himachal and the Uttarakhand Himalaya. Okay, so the Himalayas can be divided into different subdivisions, and Kashmir and northwestern Himalaya and Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya is the part of the Himalayas which lies in the north and the northwestern part. So we have discussed about 2 subdivisions of the Himalayas, that is the Kashmir Himalaya, which mainly include the state of Himachal Pradesh and Ladakh, and Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalaya, which mainly include the state of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Next, we will be discussing about, okay, the Darjeeling and the Sikkim Himalaya. So this Darjeeling and Sikkim Himalayas basically include the Darjeeling region of West Bengal and the state of Sikkim actually. Okay, we'll be discussing in our next class actually. Okay, so I hope you all have understood about this Kashmir Himalaya and the Himachal and the Uttarakhand Himalaya.